Grant Mourre, CEO and President of SPC Nickel, is here to discuss the news that has got a lot of shareholders very interested. That is surface sampling results. 77 samples taken at Muskox in Nunavut. And Grant, it looks like very widespread. Copper, nickel, and PGM. High grade in these samples at least. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so these are the results from our 2025 field program that we did in August of this year. We went up to the Moskox Project in between two airborne surveys that we were conducting, and collected samples at a series of showings that we had looked at before and that were known. But in this case, we did something a little bit different, and we brought up a diamond bladed channel saw, which allowed us to cut kind of this fresh material out that we weren't able to get before. And the results kind of speak for themselves and really show why we are excited about this project. Some of the results that came out in copper equivalents are fantastic. 70+% copper equivalents at surface in multiple spots. That it's just not from one outcrop, it's from multiple outcrops that span a distance of 20-30 kilometers. So great mineralization over big areas, which is always a good sign when you're doing this sort of exploration.
It certainly seems to be supporting your thesis that we could be looking at one of the last undeveloped district scales of this sort of geology.
Yes, definitely. And that was our thesis going into this project, is that given the size of it, the historical work that was done showed that the intrusion has the potential to produce the grades of mineralization that we want to see, and that are frankly needed to develop something in that part of Canada. So that's a big check mark for us, and having multiple locations just reaffirms that this system that we're looking at is very fertile, and we're only scratching the surface of it.
You did mention there are multiple targets within this project that you're already looking at. Can you tell us how these are shaping up and how your plan of attack is unfolding?
Yeah, so then this is just part of a fairly big program that we did this year. So we've got the grab samples and channel samples that we collected this year that show the value, but really the next step is to get the geophysical data that we collected this year through two airborne surveys, an airborne EM survey and an airborne MT survey, and basically combine all that data together plus the historical data, and from that we'll be generating targets that will either be drill ready targets or areas that we identify that need the next step of work, which might be additional boots on the ground or potentially some ground geophysics to kind of see deeper into the intrusion. But so far, all signs are very encouraging.
And finally, Grant, in terms of results to come in and next steps in exploration, what are those timelines for the milestones?
Yeah, so we have received all of our geophysics data, so we're piling through that right now, and we will get that news out to the market as soon as we've kind of done our QA/QC on it and figured out exactly what we've got. But I suspect that will be some news this year before the end of the year, and probably into the January of 2026, and that will give us a really good idea of what the next steps are. And I suspect it will be, like I said, drill ready targets, but also areas that we want to do additional work. And this will serve for the basis for that next step.
Well, you have a lot more eyes on you now following these fantastic results. So congratulations once again. And we look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thank you.